I don't know any smart agencies. No, I'm only kidding. Here's what I think. It's my opinion that that it's hard to scale creativity. And I think that what smart agencies have always done in the past is try and find the best people every place they are. And if they open an office in Tokyo, they try and find the best people in Tokyo. I think it's becoming harder to do that because I think the market is more fragmented. And I think that clients are more willing to do business with smaller entities than they used to be. I'm not sure that I would say big agencies or big networks are suffering. I think that they're not thriving as much as they used to. But I think it's simply because more and more clients, for one thing, the industry is getting more and more fragmented. And I think there are fewer clients who are willing to say, okay, we're going to give this one agency all of our money and allow them to be our brand stewards. That still exists. I think it's less common than it used to be. I think a more common way for clients to think now is, let's get these people to do this, and we'll get these people to do this, and we'll get these people to do this. And we'll have these people do our work in New York, and we'll have these people do our work in Germany. I think clients are less inclined to find one-stop shopping than they used to be. The world is changing very rapidly, and I think that there are many, many more media avenues that people use now. In the old days, you could depend on a certain percentage of your audience watching a certain set of TV shows so you knew you could reach them. That's not true anymore. So I think that, and I think the other thing that's going on is that content gets worn out really fast. Attention spans are short, people get bored, people in fact get annoyed. There's been research that's been done where people have said, the majority of people have said, when I see a message, an advertising message more than once, it annoys me. So we burn through a lot of ideas, and that's why I think being prolific is important. And I think it's less important now to work really, really hard for a long time to find the big idea. I think a better method now is do a bunch of stuff and let the audience tell you which one they fall in love with. I think sometimes agencies, I think it depends. I think some agencies have a relationship with some brands where they can have a genuine effect on what the brand does, the brand actions, the new products they might introduce or new services. I think that that's more common than it used to be. And I think it's where, to some degree, where agencies need to be. The closer, for most kinds of categories, the most important element of a brand perception is the product or service itself. When we used to do Mini Cooper, I can remember talking about, we did really good advertising for Mini, but it was never as good as the Mini. The Mini was so cool. And that's where the essence of most brands come from, is the product itself, with a few exceptions. So getting closer to that product, I think, is the most important thing a lot of agencies can do. This is a long, long time ago, when we used to work with Burger King. Long ago, before the internet was everywhere, when it was still sort of evolving. And we did this ridiculous little campaign with this chicken where you could ask this chicken to do things and it would do them. And it was called Subservient Chicken. And we thought it was kind of a fun idea. And it was just, the purpose of it was to remind people that Burger King also sold chicken sandwiches. That's all it was for. And within the first week, it had gotten 400 million hits. And it was actually the first amazingly viral sort of brand thing on the internet. That surprised me.